We are in a tie match at the top. Double gen pop to avoid the deadlock. They do go down. There is a haste status effect. They did be careful here. The hatch is going to spawn momentarily. Dead Hard could get them the distance to get it too.
Really smart play on the ace. Oh my god, getting shot through the window.
No longer have distortion, and they are gonna teleport here. I think they get there in time. Yes!
Oh, the grab! Yes! That is disappointing. This is be a 4-man out because.
Yeah, but they will be able to block this. Yo, getting caught on that. Ace coming with the body block. Oh, they were here.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's Giltspire here, and welcome back to Champions of the Fog. And we have one hell of a game for you today as we have Odium versus Modern Retro. Odium killing first today on the Suffocation Pit with the Twins. And this is a very important match for both teams. Modern Retro right now in the lead for Group B with 6 wins underneath their belt. And what we're looking at here, pretty sure it's supposed to be 5 wins, but might be mistaken unless it's one of them against Epsilon, in which case it is 6 wins. But Odium here with 4 wins, 1 loss. If they win today, they will progress their chances of making the finals for Group B and move on to the playoffs. So going to be very exciting there, to say the least. This is for all the marbles for Odium, and we'll be seeing Petroleum in their match later today as well, duking it out for their chance to the playoffs in addition. But we see Twins here in chase with the Zarina, Victor on their back. This could be a very early down as we see Victor recalled at the pallet, trying to get some mind games off. Zarina has been caught out of place. Is there Dead Hard? There is, but the Twins do not care and will get the down. First hook of the game incoming. Twins looking for a place to put them, deciding not to put them near that totem, which I find a little bit surprising. Think that would have been a good shot. Protect the totem, protect the hook, protect your gens. You would have been in a pretty prime position, but it looks like V1 does not care and will be pushing these generators now. That is Ruin in hand. Claudette trying to bait out the pounce from Victor, but no luck, and that will be Claudette unable to work on generators and or heal other survivors. At this point in time, with Jukebox on the hook currently, things are looking a bit dicey here for these survivors as Corrupted Invention has yet to expire, though will be doing so momentarily. Oh yeah, you're right, it is Group A, it is Group A. I always get mixed up because Group A is on Sundays, and I know I've done that by design, but still, I always forget that fact. These survivors, though, not going down without a fight, popping off 2 gens on the other side of the map. Nancy coming on in, trying to get the Twins' attention, but the Twins here very confident that they're going to see a second stage there on Jukebox, not caring whatsoever, will bring out Victor to pounce on the Nancy, and Nancy trying to get at a dodge real quick, using the tree to their advantage, much like what we do with Stream for a Cause. Nancy there, a fan of the environment. I imagine she definitely donates for Going Green initiatives, but unfortunately, Jukebox still on hook, unable to get the unhook here. I am wondering if they are possibly one of the 2 BTs, hence why they're not going on with 2 survivors at this moment in time. But here comes Nia trying desperately to come in here for this unhook, trying to get the hit for the 1-4 trade. Claudette coming in as well. Claudette with the body block. Twins unable to get around to Nia, but Nia unable to get the unhook too. Nia baiting it out. Claudette coming in, but no unhook. That is Jukebox dead to the world, and 2 broken status effects, 1 from the Victor and 1 force penance on the Claudette, it would seem. That is a huge play there by V1 and Odium. Victor trying to go for the pounds over the vault, unable to do so though. Claudette trying to dodge out, but will get downed instead. And we hear there off in the distance, a Hex Totem has been cleansed. And that there, I believe, is Undying out of the game. Looks like Twins here looking to get another pounce. Unfortunately, Pallet not able to make it happen. Victor will end up getting crushed from the obstacle. And I imagine we are going to see Claudette getting picked up and put on a hook in just a few moments. Ooh, since there was no unhook on Jukebox, Deliverance still not activated at this moment in time. So these survivors in a very precarious spot, to say the least. V1 doing an amazing job. However, Ruin has been found and fully cleansed, leaving the Twins to be a 1 perk killer with Forced Penance. Looks like Victor going out, trying to identify where this last survivor is. We know there's one near that Hex Totem that has since been broken. And looks like there's one over here trying to get some work done. If Victor pounces on them, it will mean that they are unable to get any gen progress in the meanwhile, leaving Nia the only one to be able to unhook. Right now, V1 and the Twins in a fantastic spot as they are able to identify the scratch marks there in the main building. However, looks like Nia is not coming in for the unhook. Here comes Nia. Nancy's still injured. Nia has to make a choice. Will this be the 1-for-1 trade? Will it be the bait? Twins taking the hit. Nia gets the unhook. That will be the 1-for-1 though. Let's see if there's a BT. Claudette sprint bursting out of there, but the Victor hot on her tail will have to get out of dodge soon, especially as Nancy still injured over by the other gen. Claudette now trapped there in that locker for 10 seconds. Twins opting to go for the pickup on Nia, it would seem. And that there will be the 5th hook of the game and 3rd gen completed by the Survivor team. At this point in time, though, there does appear to be a 4th gen here on the main side of the map. Claudette, once again, going back to the locker to evade the Victor down. However, do they have a decisive strike? Only time will tell, as V1 will down Claudette, opting not to go for the pickup, looking around for Nancy. Nancy going for the unhook. Victor coming out with the 150 speed. Will they get the down in time? They will not. Nancy trying to bait out the BT, unable to make it happen though, and Nia is officially the last survivor up in this match. Unless there's an unbreakable in play, I do think this is the swan song for these survivors. Nia doing a fantastic job though, vaulting that window, ensuring Victor is not able to get the down. Victor though overshooting, and Nia will miss the kick on Vic, and that there will be the 3-man slug for the potential 4K. If there's Unbreakable and or Soul Guard still in play, these survivors still have the ability to recover. However, if that is not the case, this here will be a 4K for V1 as they're trying to identify where the Nancy went off to, unable to find them. However, I think they have heard them behind this tree, and the only one probably able to get picked up off the ground at this point is the Nia, but so far, not looking like it. That is the Nancy up on hook. Twins now looking out for the Claudette, who has been slugged for quite some time. The question is, will they be able to find them? So far, no dice. Keep in mind that their bleed out timer is already halfway completed, and if they do bleed out, that is a loss of points for the Twins, where they do not get those hook points on the bleed out. So very important here for V1 to find them as soon as possible, as that timer stops for no one. In addition to that, Nia's timer going down just as fast. And looks like V1 doing one more pass through on this middle area, trying to see where the Claudette is, but with no luck thus far. And V1, oh, little bit of lag there, a little bit of lag. Not sure if that was DBD doing DBD things or what, but that'll be second stage on Shiro. No deliverance in play. And looks like they're going to bring out Victor to do a quick sweep of that corner. No sign of Claudette. The only other place that they haven't looked yet is the basement. We'll have to wait and see, but 2 survivors very close to the bleed out now. This could be dicey for the Twins if they are unable to find it. Once again, not sure if this is DBD, not sure if this is V1's internet connection. Oh, wrong button. I just wanted to see what the ping looked like. Okay, game, give me a break. But either way, it looks like Demon Time Kimberly is going to bleed out on the ground. Nia not far behind, however. And now the search for Nia begins. I feel like they possibly may have spent too much time looking for the Claudette and might result in 2 survivor bleedouts. Once again, they do not get any points for those. However, the survivors obviously do not get any points for any escapes either. So Twins still in a very good position, however, not getting as many points as they possibly could. Twins now taking a quick pass by the main building. No sounds of Nia there. If Nia is able to hide out, that will be the second bleed out, and a loss of 4 hooks for the Twins will be quite unfortunate after such a amazing showing by V1. And whoop, out of nowhere, there is the Nia just in time too, as they were in the process of bleeding out, and that will be the last 2 hooks here for the Twins. And that there will be a GG well played to these survivors. Not bad at all. Even with the loss of 2 hooks from the bleed out, I will say that V1's performance here was pretty much on point and exactly what they needed for their survivor team to be put into a good position for trial number 2. But with that being said, we are going to take a quick break here as we get the next lobby set up. So as a reminder, you guys may have heard the plug earlier, but we are partnered with Stream for a Cause. They are a non-profit organization based here in the United States that support a whole litany of different causes, from LGBTQA plus communities to the refugees in Ukraine to Going Green initiatives and so much more. So if you haven't already, definitely make sure to check out Champions for a Cause, the fundraiser that we spun up with them in order to, you know, give towards a greater cause in the long run. Not to mention, though, it does impact in some way, shape, or form the prize pool of Championship of Champions in December, where the best of Champions of the Fog will duke it out for the grand prize. With that being said, guys, we'll be back in just a little bit. All right, and we are back. This time, though, Modern Retro killing with the nurse once again on the suffocation pit against Odium's Survivor team. And for set number 1, it is a 14-point difference. As of this moment, Odium up 22-6. The win condition is a little bit odd here because of that bleed out, but more or less, the nurse will have to get a 4K. I guess they'll have to get a 4K before 4 gens are completed. That sounds about right. So, we'll have to wait and see what this nurse is able to do. But it is definitely going to be quite the undertaking, to say the least. But we have seen stranger things in the past, and some nurses even 4K at 5 generators. However, Odium's Survivor team is not to be trifled with, as they are currently vying for that second spot in Group A for the semifinals. So I imagine they will put up quite a fight. But we'll see shortly what Modern Retro's killer is able to do. And it looks like we got Orchid here for Modern Retro spawning in the main building. And off to the races they go. No hesitation going into that middle area. Seeing 2 survivors right off the bat. And so this is going to be a quick start here, though, as the nurse does push into the corrupted zone. These survivors will slowly but surely filter into the uncorrupted area. However, a very early hit to start off on the Claudette. Will she be able to get the down just as fast? And she does indeed. Within 15 seconds or so, we see that first down incoming. However, not a lot of hooks to work with here. If a body block comes in, this nurse could be in a bit of trouble. In addition to, we hear a ruin get cleansed off in the distance. Unfortunate, but a ruin for a hook. I definitely think it was a good trade. In addition to, we see a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, regressing gen by 15%. Now, we do see a survivor there over by the gen. However, it looks like the survivors are going to focus down the gens instead. Seeing a survivor there at the tile. Once again, not forcing the chase, instead trying to force this survivor to second stage. Ace going in for the unhook, now backing off towards middle. He was working on the gen prior. We see Nia coming in now. This is going to be 2 survivors. Is there a BT? Nurse going in for a quick hit to try and slow down their attempt. Ace trying to bait in once again. Really good play there by Orchid to force the second stage, ensuring BTs won't be able to come in. However, survivors doing 1 generator. That is the second stage. Unfortunately, a misfire on the blink. Not able to get to the Ace for the hit. Nurse trying to predict his positioning, does it perfectly, gets it on the Ace, and now it looks like they are going to go back to the hook to potentially progress to Death Hook. They see a survivor there on the left. That there is the Nia. I imagine they're hoping to see the Nancy there, but no dice. Actually, sorry, no Nancy. I think they're looking for the injured Nia. Unfortunately, injured Nia no longer injured, now healthy. And with only about 30 seconds left until this survivor on hook dies, these survivors are going to have to do something quick. Maybe proc a kinship if possible, as I believe that is exactly what has happened, as that hook timer has all but stopped. Kinship has activated, giving these survivors a breath of fresh air. and a sigh of relief coming from that Nia as they are able to successfully get the unhook. However, Claudia is not out of the woods yet as this nurse is threatening to tunnel her out, waiting for the BT to end, and here comes the swing. There's the down. The question is there a decisive strike? An answer for the nurse is no, there is not. So that'll be the first survivor out of the game. So far, a very good start here for the nurse. However, that is 2 gens now completed. We are in a bit of a standoff here as the nurse has given up 2 gens on main side, 3 gen here on Shack side, but holding down to 3 gen ain't gonna be enough to claim set number 1, and they are going to have to pressure the generators as much as possible. Seeing scratch marks there, that is the Jeff going for the blink. Unfortunately though, Jeff baiting the blink out will get the dodge, and they are now off into another chase. This time though, Jeff taking the hit and moving towards Shack side, trying to give the knee, I imagine, enough time to complete another generator back in the main side. Jeff down though, getting caught on the fire barrel, and this will be the 4th hook of the game. And looks like we are going to the basement here. Nurse treating Jeff to a special treat indeed, as I don't think we see a lot of basement here on Self a Pit. Mainly Shack is usually the side we see a lot of gens being done, but this time kind of seeing the opposite as main has gotten a lot of love and attention. This gen though still regressing. Was the most progress prior when the Scourge Hook popped off, but no longer. Does make you wonder though what these survivors are doing on the other side of the map. And Nurse here opting to just kind of hold down the fort, not giving these survivors any chances to come in for the unhook. The Nurse here might be prioritizing the 4K over the potential set. It is a possibility indeed. Keep in mind that survivors at the start of this are able to get a total of 10 points for generators alone, meaning that they could get a bit of distance here versus, I believe, the only 6 points. So actually, if I'm thinking about it, if survivors get all 5 gens, and the Nurse here gets a 4K for 24 total, it will be a tie set. So maybe Nurse here making the right call, as based on those bleedouts from Odium, that is going to be the best case scenario for this Nurse. Even better yet, if they're able to hold down the 3 gen here on Shack's side, it will result in the Nurse winning the set and taking advantage in the match points. So gonna be a very tight match indeed. Nurse making sure they're able to get the unhook. Ace going down to the basement. Nurse blocking him out. Unfortunately, the fatigue is incoming, so Ace will take the hit. Maybe a misfire there on the blink. Not sure why that happened. Jeff trying to body block. I do believe this is a bit of bait. Here's a bounce land to boot. A BT for additional distance. Jeff is out of here. But Nurse continuing to go for the tunnel out. Jeff this time bringing her all the way to the main side. Nurse trying to get full value out of that blink. Does it indeed. A beautiful hit, and let's see, 1 out of 3 chance. Is there a decisive strike? There is indeed, but what is a decisive strike to a Nurse? Then a minor inconvenience as Nurse is back off to the races with Jeff once again, and the re-down as if nothing happened at all. And that will be Jeff on their final hook. That there is a 2K for the Nurse. Hopefully these survivors have been working on the generators over on the Shack side, for if not, this is going to be looking quite grim. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance doing some work once again. 15% off of that generator. And it does appear to be continuing to regress as these survivors trying to hide out from the Nurse, unable to get the pal stun. However, beautiful hit there by the Nurse on the Nia, and Nia now trying to make some distance, giving Ace enough time to get the gen completed. Dead hard for distance, does successfully dodge the hit from the Nurse and Orchid, but will it last long as Nia doubles back, doing a bit of a game of ping pong. Nurse, however, getting the down off the prediction blink, and that will be Nia on hook for hook number 7. Just looking around, though, for a hook. This is going to be a bit greedy if they're not able to get to one soon, but looks like that completion of the gen, Nurse will get the hook here. If there is a deliverance in play, that could make a world of difference. Nurse going towards the middle. I'd be a little bit worried about that 5th generator on the left-hand side, as it is still regressing, however. Nurse going back to the hook to protect their 3rd survivor. This is going to be a very, very close game. Going to be coming down to the wire for sure. Well, only time will tell what will come of it. If Nia here does have deliverance, though, that will be a huge power play by the survivors, to say the least. If not, though, and Ace is caught out, this will spell the end for the survivor team and get a set win for Modern Retro. Nurse not seeing the Ace. Ace probably trying to make their way over to the Nia, unable to do so as Nia is about to move to 2nd stage. If there is a deliverance, they better do it now. Otherwise, there is a chance that deliverance will move them to 2nd stage nonetheless. Nurse going up on hill, checking. Entity has been summoned. No deliverance in play. This is huge for the Nurse. Question is, will she need to go back to the shack for the potential hatch escape? She is having that same idea as we speak and going there now in case they do suicide on the hook. But no sign of the Ace, no sign of the suicide on the hook either. And this is a very close match. There's the unhook, though. Ace calling the Nurse's bluff. Will end up getting unhooked, and this is still a game. These survivors are trying to just eke out as many points as possible, potentially getting a 1-person out via the hatch. If they do that, honestly, I have no idea what the points will look like. All I know is they will be very close as Nia does go back down. There is no decisive strike. However, if Nurse were to hook here in the back of main, that would spell disaster, as Ace would most assuredly be able to escape via the hatch at the shack. So well played there by the survivors, especially if Nia has a unbreakable in hand. And at this point in time, it looks like this generator has a little bit of progress, but not enough to really write home about. Ace somewhere nearby, Nurse knows it too, and is looking around, prowling for the Ace, wants to find him as soon as possible, but unfortunately, I do think the Ace is out of dodge, and more likely not potentially priming to pick the Nia, but I am wrong, as Ace is caught out of nowhere, and is going to be chased down in the shack. Ace trying to fake out the Nurse. Nurse going with a body block, and that will be the final down. Nia on the other side. Hold up, though. I was about to say, hold up, though. Nurse going back for the Nia. I would recommend against it, friend, as this Ace is in prime position for the hatch escape. But Nurse, remembering that fact too, will put Ace in the basement, and we still have yet to see a deliverance. So there is a very real possibility that Ace does have deliverance. However, that's 60 seconds worth of time the Ace is on hook. Nia does not have that much time left until they bleed out, so this is very possibly a 3rd bleed out of this match. 2 in the last from the twins, and 1 potentially from the Nurse. The best thing the Ace can do here is let the Nurse sit here to the very last moment for deliverance, resulting in the Nia's bleed out on the other side of the map. That is a huge, huge play here by these survivors, as if the Nurse does leave the Ace, it does risk the Ace escaping via the hatch instead. So if I'm the Nurse here, unfortunately, I think I'd have to take the the lack of 3 points, or lack of remaining hook points from the Nia, and instead kill the Ace. Trying to think off the top of my head what these points will look like. Nurse will get 29 points for this, meaning that I believe, or sorry, 23 points, not 29. 23 points plus their previous 6, meaning that they'll have 29 points total. And if that is the case with Odium's 29 points as well, that will mean we are in a tie set, 29 to 29. Nia, though, with only a short bit of time remaining until they bleed out, will the nurse be able to find them in time? Desperately searching around as the ace does end up dying. Nurse had to make a decision. Could the Nia have potentially have slipped out towards the shack? Only time will tell. Only 10 seconds left until Nia bleeds out. Nurse looking frantically for her. Unable to do so, though, blinking frantically, but no sign of the Nia, not even a peep. And that will be our third bleed out of this match. And that's actually 3 points that they end up losing out on. 2 for the second hook and 1 additional, I do believe. So what does that look like points-wise at the end there? We'll have to wait for the final tally. And that there, I believe, is 29 to 29 points. A tie set indeed. Really, really smart plays there by both sides all around. A really close match. And that there will be the end of set number 1. We'll be moving to set number 2 here, where we're going to see Modern Retro's twins on the Gas Heaven. But before we do that, we are going to take a quick break once again. And as a reminder, you, the viewers, are our sponsors today, as we, Champions of the Fog, do not have a sponsor. If you know one, though, feel free to DM us, and we would love to have a conversation. But with that being said, all the ads that you watch, all the bits that you tip, all the subs that you buy, all go to the production of Champions of the Fog. So thank you all for sticking on through, and we'll see you in just a little bit. All right, and we are back. This time for set 2, trial number 3, Modern Retro back again, killing against Odium Survivor team. This time, however, we are going to be on the Suffocation Pit, and Modern Retro bringing the twins. Will be quite exciting indeed. Keep in mind, since set number 1 was a draw, that set point will be tied to the match point. So quite literally, it all comes down to set number 2 to see who gets the 3 season points that you could have gotten in this match. But only time will tell as we are loading up as we speak. And on Gas Heaven, honestly, twins feeling pretty good. A lot of good places where the twins can set up for the potential 3-gen. We'll see, though, what their setup looks like as they will spawn in and look around. And so far, 3-gens, not so great. Setup, okay-ish. They do have received scratch marks there over by the car pile quite early, looking around towards main building to see if they are there, and sure enough, there is the first survivor spotted. And with that door broken, Victa will come out to play, searching around for the Zarina. Zarina, once again, much like Nancy, trying to use the environment to her advantage. And she, as well, thankful for that tree being there and will get the kick on Vic. However, looks like twins will drop off the chase and will now pursue the survivor on this active gen. However, looks like they did get out of dodge. Victor back once again to see where this survivor is. However, no scratch marks to find. This survivor all has but disappeared from the twins' vision. And there is the Nia trying to dodge the pounce on Victor, unable to do so, however, and it looks like they will be moving towards the corrupted zone, forcing the twins to disengage. Looks like these fires have done a good job splitting up the gen pressure early, not to give this twins some unnecessary pressure. And looks like we are going to be looping here at the LT wall. A great mind game, though, by the twins, getting a hit on the ace. And it would appear that Ace will be going on a bit of a run with the twins. Twins here trying to set up for Victor, I think. And sure enough, here comes Vic. Will Ace be able to dodge? Very clearly mind gaming each other there at the pallet and at the window. Ace not dropping once again. And Jeff out of nowhere taking Victor for a ride. And looks like twins will opt to go for Jeff instead back at the LT wall once again. However, these survivors not going down without a fight will have completed the main building generator in the meanwhile. Jeff, though, not falling for the same mind game that the Ace did earlier, will end up using this LT wall to perfection. We do, however, see a killer instinct. Nia coming in for the body block. And looks like that is a forced penance here once again on the twins. A second gen or two, very well progressed. Still on the Jeff, and that is a down on the Nia. However, Jeff not able to get the kick on Nia. This could be a two-man slug, and Victor is able to get the hit, and there it is. Unfortunate, as when Jeff went for the kick, unfortunately it primed him for the heal instead. Why it's very important as a survivor to coordinate in that moment and hold sprint when necessary in order to avoid those unfortunate scenarios. Victor has been kicked, however, though this will be the first hook for the twins. And looks like they're opting not to kick the gen. Oh, my mistake. They are indeed, but looks like that is a dry kick, unless a Colibran. I do believe that will be at 0.3% per second. And looks like the twins will opt to stick nearby this gen as well as the hook. Great pounce there by the Twins. Scratch marks, though, heading back towards the hook. Twins seeing that loud and clear, but however, looks like these survivors are trying to sneak on in for potential unhook. Twins kind of scattered out, making sure. Honestly, a really good setup here for the Twins as they're able to proxy this gen as it regresses slowly but surely, as well as the hook to progress to second stage. Zarina, though, trying to bait the Twins out, maybe draw their attention. However, Twins not falling for it. Seeing scratch marks once again, kind of pushing Zarina away towards the main building. Not seeing any other survivors coming in so far, and that'll be a second stage on the first survivor hooked. So good play here by the Twins, sending Victor out, trying to look for the Zarina. Unable to do so, however, and it looks like they're going to be going for this gen instead. Some decent progress, but none yet. Scratch marks once again going in. Charlotte switching right at the right moment to push off the Zarina. We do see Jeff over here. Victor trying to get the long-range pounce, does get it. That will be a hook and a slug, and looks like the Zarina will be trying to come in for that unhook as we speak, and they will get it on the Nia. Question is, will the Twins go for the tunnel out on the Nia as we speak, or will the Zarina have to take a body block instead? Ace, though, trying to come in and get the pickup on Jeff. However, if Victor on his back, unable to do so. Zarina going for the heal on the Nia, does successfully get it. However, Nia once again injured. And Ace still next to the Jeff as we speak. This could potentially be all four survivors injured. And as these survivors are very keenly aware, there is a thanatophobia currently slowing down these gens by a whopping 20%. Victor out at the pallet. Nia trying to bait it out. However, looks like Victor will get a bit spun around, and Nia will go down. If there is no decisive strike, that will be Nia out of the game. Zarina, though, is kind of nearby. I believe the Twins did see that, and Zarina coming on in as we speak. This would be a great time to use Victor as a body blocker, but Twins not doing so far. Zarina getting pushed off by Victor, but I don't think it's enough distance for them to get the pick up. Zarina coming in, but unable to get the pallet drop. And that there is Nia out of the game. 3 survivors remaining with 3 gens left to go. And this gen over here very well regressed. So great play there by the Twins to not only camp that hook, but camp that gen in turn. And looks like we do find ourselves with the Ace injured as he is, unable to get into the locker in time. And looks like the Twins will be on their way for the pickup on the Ace. Really good plays here by the Twins. Looks like they're opting to check out some additional areas, though. Ensure that Jeff is not sneaking out about. And unfortunately, a very close dodge there for the Jeff. And looks like Jeff will be locked in that locker for a whopping 10 seconds of time, unable to do much of anything. So great slowdown here by the Twins, to say the least. However, Ace is back up, looking like a unbreakable, and a sprint burst to boost. And looks like Ace will not fall for the mind games, as we do see Victor coming out trying to get the down once again. With Unbreakable out of the game, though, Twins can rest easy on any future slugs. Unfortunately, this tile here not looking like a great pounce point for Victor. However, Ace will go down nonetheless. And that there will be potentially another hook for the Twins, though, once again going for the Jeff. And this time, Charlotte might be in distance to get the grab. However, it does appear that the Twins will instead go for the hook on the Ace as we speak. Another gen popping off for the Survivor team. However, that is 3 gens completed as of this moment. Jeff bravely jumping back on that gen, and multiple gens here with some decent progression. And looks like Jeff will abandon the generator, going for the main building. Victor coming out once again, trying to chase down the Jeff. We do see a very speedy Vic with the Force 2 and the Scarf to boot, and that there will be a down on the Jeff. No Unbreakable in play. Need the only survivor left up. Can the Twins close this out? That is the question of the day. Victor will be guarding the Jeff in the meanwhile. Charlotte over here by the hook. Things are looking grim for this Survivor team. Will they be able to bring it back? That is the question. And Twins once again going for a dry kick on both gens here. No Colubrine in the game as we have seen thus far. So far the known perks are Corrupt Intervention, Thanatophobia, and a Forced Penance. And looks like we are going to be checking out where this Jeff is, making sure that he is not too far out of Victor's reach, and that there will be the second stage for the Ace unless there is a last-minute deliverance, but there is not, and that will be second stage for the Ace, and now it looks like Twins will be on the prowl for the Nia. So far, it looks like Victor really just kind of keeping an eye on the Jeff. There is the Zarina with Victor on her back. She is unable to get the pickup on the Jeff. If the Twins are able to get there in time, that there will spell the end of the game. However, Victor offered back Jeff back up off the ground. And we once again have a game on our hands. However, Survivor on the Hook only has a short while to go before they are dead. Twins doing a quick check to see if they are potentially going for that unhook, but so far no scratch marks in sight. Zarina getting healed rather quickly, potentially a inner healing, and oh, that is not Zarina in the locker. I thought that would have been. Instead, that is a Jeff. They are not far enough away for Charlotte to not get there, and that will be a grab on the Jeff. And the 7th hook of the game for Jukebox and the Twins, leaving only the Zarina left up able to do much of anything. Question is, will Zarina go for any of these remaining generators, or will they try and duke it out with the hook? There is also potential of a deliverance still being in play, yet though that has yet to be seen thus far. We'll have to wait and see. So far, no sign of Zarina, no scratch marks. Twins doing a quick survey of their generators to ensure that none get completed. Crows, however, going back towards the hook. There is a potential Zarina creeping on towards the unhook as we speak. But Twins being very careful not to give these survivors a free generator. We'll bring out Victor once again to look around here at this hook to try and deny this Zarina the unhook. So far, though, no shot. And this Zarina just waiting it out. Now, once again, we have not yet seen Deliverance, so it is possible that we'll see a last minute. However, it is not looking like it as Jeff does progress to second stage. Jen's over here, still yet to be completed. Victor roaming on about. Charlotte primed and ready to close the hatch on top of which. If I was Zarina, I think we want to commit to one last generator. However, after a cursory glance, Twins has determined that there is no one on the gens. Hatch about to spawn. Will we see a potential escape from Zarina at the exit gates? One exit gate immediately by Charlotte. Where is the other one, however? Jukebox looking around, unable to identify. I imagine we're going to see Victor here going towards the other one in just one moment. Instead, though, looks like the Twins are actually going to walk themselves over. I fear, though, that there is a no way out. And that there, with 3 stacks no way out, will spell doom for this arena. 45 seconds on the clock. EGC counting down. Jukebox missing the feed through the T-wall. Unable to get a line of sight on her. However, doing another check. Still unable to find. There is a med kit sitting down on the ground. Zarina trying to be as stealthy as possible. However, will get hit. And now we got the Vic here to clean up with the built-in Bloodhound, ensuring that they are unable to lose the Zarina. However, may have been a bit aggressive here. As we do see some scratch marks and some blood, Zarina will get found and she will get downed. And that there will be a 4K for Jukebox and Modern Retro, putting them in a prime position to take the set and match point. GG, well played to the survivors and the killer alike. And now we'll be switching side this time. Odium killing on the Gas 7, and we are gonna be treated to a nurse. Amazing, amazing game so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. But with that being said, we are going to get this last lobby set up in just a moment. But before we do, as a reminder, guys, I mentioned before, but I'll mention again that you all here are our sponsors. So all ads that you watch, all the bits that you tip, all the subs that you buy, all go towards the production of Champions of the Fog. So we really do appreciate you. And with that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. This time, Odium killing against Modern Retro Survivor Team with the Nurse on the Gas Heaven. The question is, will they be able to come out victorious, as they are going to need a 4K before 3 gens are completed for the win, and a 4K at 3 gens completed for the tie. If we do get a tie here, we'll be moving on to set number 3. It will be quite the interesting match, to say the least, but only time will tell. Will these survivors do their generators? Will the Nurse kill them at 0 gens? We will have to see, but with that being said, we are jumping right on in with Dodo on the Nurse. And we see them looking around a decent corrupt intervention spot, and we see a totem off in the distance, immediately blinking towards the survivors at the car pile. And this is going to be quite the early chase indeed, as Nurse checking out their hex totem here in this tile. Scratch marks would suggest a survivor nearby. Nurse, though, unable to exactly identify where, and that is the Claudette, who will take a hit very early on. That is already 30 seconds into corrupt intervention, and the Claudette will end up going down for the first hook of the game. Very clean start here by the Nurse, to say the least. And it looks like they're going right into the middle. And that there is some Undying Aura reading, showing that they are on the Shack gen as we speak. Is it close enough to completion in order for them to get it? It is not. Ruin will activate, regressing the gen at 200% speed. That is heartbreaking for that survivor team. Undying doing them dirty, to say the least. But Nurse seemingly looking to drop chase here. Just getting the gen regress will be enough, and camp the hook to second stage even better. Fantastic start here by the Nurse, and looks like we see Jukebox trying to come in and sneak through. Unfortunately taking a hit though, and making a run to the other side of the map. However, Nurse, being keen on the idea, will see the unhook. Unfortunately though, taking the BT hit on the Claudette, and looks like they're going to try and tunnel out, but with Nia harassing the Nurse with that flashlight, unable to go for the tunnel, instead going back for the gen, seeing the Zarina trying to get progress there. Very daring, very brave. Unfortunately, just not working out in their favor. However, first gen of 3 completed. That there is the main building done and dusted. These survivors only need 2 more gens in order to make it a tie match. Nurse misfiring on that blank, unable to get out of the basement. Now looking around, seeing what they can find. Corrupt intervention finally over, giving these survivors a bit of breathing room, and that there will be Undying out of the game. Survivor here, though, I do hear some moans of pain. I see some blood on the ground. That there is a Claudette trying to evade the Nurse. Unable to do so, though. Keeperly will go down, and that will be the 3rd hook of this game. Jukebox still in the basement, yet to have gotten out. Now the question is, will these survivors prioritize the gens or prioritize the unhooks? And it looks like they will get the unhook out of basement with enough time to spare, and that will be Zarina gone. We have yet to see the 3rd survivor, however, meaning that they're more likely not on a gen as we speak. And if that's the case, and they play it smart, it'll be hard for the Nurse to come back. Nia, though, taking a hit, and Nurse going back to the unhook. Keep in mind that there is the Natophobia, so these survivors keenly aware that they are running at now 15% slower progression. That there is the Claudette off of the hook. No second stage for the Nurse. Once again, survivors doing a great job denying them the pressure that they need. However, Claudette will more likely not go down once again. Question is, though, is there a decisive strike or isn't there? And that there is the decisive strike. Second gen completed, on top of which a lot of pressure here on the nurse. They need to get a 4K before 2 gens are completed. A whiff on the Claudette, just narrowly missing. There is the flashlight attempt on the nurse. Nia harassing her to the best of her ability to keep the Claudette off the ground, and it is successful as Claudette has gotten some decent distance. Once again, Nia going for the flashlight burn, unable to get it though, and looks like Claudette will get out of dodge once again. Nancy, right now, the only survivor currently healthy. Nurse gets the blink strike on the Claudette, now going for the Nia. Nia going down, 2 survivors slugged out. Will this be the pressure that the nurse needs in order to avoid the next 2 generators from popping? Only time will tell. That will be the 4th hook here for the nurse, and the first death on the board. Claudette being sent back to the campfire, and that there is a missed skill check on this generator though. That there is Nancy's gen, and looks like it will be Nia up off the ground, potentially an unbreakable in play. And Nancy trying to get out of dodge. Nurse over blink, and Nancy going back towards the exit gate, just trying to give these survivors a bit of time. A beautiful dead hard for distance. Like I said, in order to tie it, they only need 1 more generator. If they're able to do that, then that will put the nurse on their back foot and potentially prime ourselves for set number 3. However, Nancy will go down, and nurse, knowing full well that these generators are going to be worked on in the meanwhile, going back to check on them first off and foremost, leaving the slug, assuming as I did that there was an unbreakable used earlier. Scratch marks though, and this gen is a roaring. Great job by the nurse, having the sense to come back here, pushing them off of that generator. However, will these survivors be able to pick up the pieces in order to reclaim some of this pressure, as we are about to see a second slug here on the Zarina? However, another gen completed, that there is a potential tie match if the nurse here gets the 4K. However, if the survivors by some means do squeak out another gen, they will claim victory. This is as down to the wire as it gets, as Ruin is still doing its job on all of these generators. Nancy has been healed. I imagine Nia will not be far behind. Nurse trying to identify where these survivors are, but to no avail, as they are checking their ruined totem, but no one here to find. And Nurse in quite the pickle here, as what do they do? What gens do they protect? Where do they go to get the most value? Jukebox still on hook with less than 30 seconds to go before they die on hook and be sent back to the campfire by the entity. But does Nurse commit to that hook, or will they give up the pressure in an effort to stop these generators from being completed? That is the question of the day. Jukebox about to die, 5 seconds left. Nurse opting to go for the gen here in this corner. A good choice, as the survivors are most likely here. Crows going off, showing that they are indeed 1 survivor getting out of dodge. That there is the Nancy playing things smart. Actually, probably one of the worst case scenarios for this nurse though, as the Nancy is fully healthy. Looking around, seeing if the Nia is also here. She is not though, meaning that there is a split gen progression going. These survivors know full well all they need is this last generator to claim victory, and Nurse has to do something quick or it is going to slip through their fingers. Looks like this gen over here is pretty well regressed. What about the one in this corner though? There is the Nia. No progression on the gens, however. I mean, the only one that is up and running was the one for the Nancy. Nia just trying to waste the Nurse's time, and now Nurse has to make their way back to the gen in the opposite corner. Could this have been the 2000 IQ play by the survivors to secure their victory? It all comes down to this and how quickly the nurse can blink over to that gen. Dodo frantically teleporting from location to location, getting as much distance as they possibly can. Will the Nancy be able to commit to the gen, or has Ruin done its job? Nancy with the hit, trying to get it, and she does! That there will be the win for the survivors by a total of 2 points. This is as close as it could have been, but beautiful job there by the survivors. I can only imagine what their comms sound like right now as they have been able to pull out the victory and get the 3 set points for this match. And though the game is all but over, Nurse will be going back to the Nia here on the opposite corner. Really smart heads up play here by the survivors, forcing Nurse to make a very difficult choice. And a difficult choice it was, as it resulted in the survivors' victory. But as we see the last hook of the game, GG, well played to the survivors and the killer alike. Really, really amazing stuff, to say the least. Nia with a deliverance just to spite the nurse. And looks like that there will be the true final hook of the game. And with that, congratulations to Modern Retro. I do believe that will be your 7th win in a row for Group A, solidifying their position in the semifinals of Champions of the Fog. And GG, well played to Odium. It now comes down to the match with Petroleum to see who will win and who will lose. But with that being said, we'll be back in just another 36 minutes. Let's take a look-see real quick and see what our next match is going to be. And it's going to be Ruby Wolves versus Colts. A match for in the making. So this will be quite interesting. Make sure to not go anywhere for that, as we'll be back very shortly. On that note, guys, thank you all for being here, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye!